Good day, everyone. Now we are on our next topic, which is in module 6, the semantics and syntax of a language. We are now going to differentiate semantics from syntax in the context of a language. Okay, what is syntax? Syntax is the set of rules that govern the arrangement of words and phrases to form meaningful sentences. It means to say that when words combine together in sentences, they do so according to certain rules. There are rules to follow in order for that sentence to convey a meaningful meaning. And these rules are called rules of syntax. So if we want to know how sentences are formed in a language, then we study its syntax. For example, the sentence "running is he very fast" is wrong, or when we translate it to our vernacular, or the vernacular is we have "mudagan yaan paspasay." So that's grammatically incorrect, right? The correct one is that he is running very fast, or if we translate that one, it means to say paspasay yaan mudagan. So as you can see, if we follow the rule of syntax, it conveys a meaningful meaning. The sentence conveys a meaningful meaning. That is the rule of syntax. The next one is semantics. Semantics is the study of meaning in language, focusing on how words, phrases, and sentences convey meaning. It means to say, semantics is more concerned with the meaning of words, with the meaning of phrases, or with the meaning of sentences, and the larger units of language. And semantics, it explores how expressions convey meaning. It includes or including relationships of words, and the context in which they are used. It means to say, semantics, it is more concerned with the meaning of words, with the meaning of phrases, or with the meaning of sentences, and a larger unit of a language. For example, bangko. Okay, when we say bangko, it means to say a financial institution. For example, BDO Unibank, BDO Network Bank, BPI, RCBC, when we say bangko. But when we say bangko, the same spelling, parehas lang sila. We refer to it as chair or ingkudanan. Or in English, when we say bank, may dalawang maaaring meaning niya. It could be financial institution, or it could be side of river. So this word, it depends kung ano, it depends, yung meaning niya nakadepende kung paano natin siya ginagamit or ginamit sa sentence. So that's semantics. Now, let's move to lexical relations. What is lexical relations? When we say lexical relations, these are the ways in which words are related to each other in language. And this is used to analyze the meanings of words based on their relationship with one another. In fact, lexical relations, they are one of the ways of understanding the meaning of words. So we will delve deeper now doon sa mga types ng lexical relations. And this shows how words are connected or related to one another in language. Here are the main types of lexical relations. The first one is synonymy. These are words that have similar meaning or yung mga synonym words. For example, in English, we have big, large, or in Kinamayo, we have mataas, mahaba. Di ba? Or it could be also sa English, we have happy, and the synonym word for happy is joyful. That's synonymy. The next one is antonymy. These are words that have opposite meanings. Okay, opposite meanings. For example, mainit, mainit. And the opposite word for mainit is matignaw, 'di ba? And we also have, for example, malimpyo. Yung opposite word ng malimpyo is maripa, 'di ba? So that's antonymy. The next one is hyponymy. It is a type of relationship in which specific siya to general. For example, yung mga roses, mga tulips, daisy are hyponyms of flower. So, from specific, specific or nagbigay siya na example, nagyaghatag yan na example, and then unan niya na klase ng mga example. For example, nito agaw, yung buwak na yung rose, yung tulip, yung daisy kay hyponym of flower. The next one is hypernymy. This is the general term for a group of words. For example, fruits or fruit is a hyponym of apple, banana, mango. So, baliktad siya ng hyponymy. Bali ang hyponymy, specific to general, pero si hypernymy, general to specific. The next one is meronymy. This is part-whole relationship. So, for example, wheel is part or meronym of car. Kung sang kinanuto, kay yung ligid kay party lamang ng sakyanan, or yung ligid kay party lamang ng car. Or pwede sab na yung kanaton fingers kay part ng hand, 'di ba? Or yung kanaton mga kulamoy, part siya ng kamot. Okay? The next one is homonymy. Words that sound the same or are spelled the same but have different meanings. Okay, for example, in homonymy we have but, 'di ba? But na BAT, it could be na yung meaning niya is nag-refer siya as animal, 'di ba? It could be also na yung bat is used in baseball. 'Di ba? Yung bat, as you can observe, parehas lang sila or the same lang sila ng spelling and the way we pronounce it. But it could be na it is referred to different na bagay. Okay. So for example rin basa, 'di ba? Basa and basa, 'di ba? Magparehas sila ng spelling. For example, yung basa, ang ibig sabihin niyan is wet. Yung pasabot ng basa, sang kanato is basa or wet, 'di ba? And basa, to read, magbasa ng libro, ganyan. So that's homonymy. The next one is polysemy. This is a single word with multiple related meanings. Marami siyang meaning. For example, head, 'di ba? Head, yung head natin. It could be na it is head of a person, head of a company, or head of a table. So may nilagay ako dito na example, yung buwan, 'di ba? It could be na yung buwan is month or moon, di ba? Or marami pa siyang ganyan. Next is suga, di ba? It could be na lamp or sun. Okay. Next is prototype. Prototype is the best or most common example of a group. Okay? So for example, when you hear the word bird, what comes to your mind? So you might think of um, a bird na sparrow siya, robin. That's your prototype of a bird. Or for example, sang kanato, kung maglaon kita na halaon langgam, maglaon din kita na limukon, limukon. Or unang pa na mga kuan na langgam. That is our prototype of a bird. And depende lamang isabian, for example, nga ni kanato katiil, kung maglaon kita ng langgam, aon din specific na butang sang kanaton huna-huna. For example, langgam, kuan limukon, masian. Pero ngadto isab sang for example sa United States, maglaong sila when they hear the word verb bird, usually yung butang sang una-huna nila kay sparrow or robin. So yung depende isabian sang cultural context ng isa ka lugar. And the last one is collocations. These are words that often go together naturally in language. For example, strong coffee. Ngini gani mga words na aman natural lang kay aman always gid sila nagaiban. For example, husband, wife, di ba? Or bana, asawa. And spoon, fork, spoon and fork, di ba? Kutsara, tinidor, di ba? Or mutanaw ng una how maglang kita na mutanaw, usually aman ang mutanaw ng salida, di ba? We also have magbasa ng libro. Aman ang ngini na mga words usually ang gaiban na aman ang para kanato natural din yan sila na permigid mag-iban. Or other examples, bread, butter, di ba? Husband, wife, hammer, nail. So, ganon. So, that's it. And thank you so much for your time.